if I can get a shot through those trees. And you need to stop with the whole thing. I'm not carrying a bunch of equipment down a fucking trail.
I'm not telling you to.
Son, you told me more than once to. You're gonna get stabbed with the key.
Oh, you got a knife. I'm not using the knife.
No, I'm gonna use a key. A knife, you can't claim an accident. The key, you can. You'd be like, oh, I was talking, I'm a part Italian, and I was kind of, you know, a knife you can't get away with.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in to another Wolf Tick video. This video today is going to be on my GT Aggressor Pro, and it's going to be an update video on all the upgrades I've done thus far. Everybody on YouTube has been asking me about certain things I've been doing to the bike, and especially those ZTZ Kashima forks up front. They've been asking and asking, hey man, how are those things treating you? How are they doing on the trails? Are you happy with them? We know you had some problems in the beginning with the forks. How are they? So, I'm going to give the people what they want. Not only are we going to go over the forks, we're going to go over the whole bike, everything I've done to it. And remember, this is a budget build, so everything that I have on the bike, I think something everybody can afford, and I'm trying to keep it budget friendly. I also have a few surprises, some things that I just bought earlier on today, and that's going to be at the end of the video. That and a couple of other things I'm going to be doing to the GT Aggressor Pro, some upgrades as I see it, and then probably a little bit of maintenance stuff. So make sure you guys stick around for the end of the video, because we'll be going over what I'm going to do to my GT Aggressor Pro next, and you're not going to believe it. But anyway, and of course, it's going to be on the budget, just like all the other stuff on the bike. It will be budget friendly, I promise you. Alright, so first thing that you can probably see here on the GT Aggressor Pro, the pedals. These are Odyssey brand pedals. Now, you're thinking the first pedal Jeremiah went with on the GT Aggressor Pro was the Ozu. So, on the Ozu pedals, the problem was, and I've had these for probably a little over a year now, and I just recently took them off the bike, and they just started to get fractures and cracks in them, and I'd rather be safe than sorry. So when I went to the bike shop there in Hot Springs, it was Spa City Cycling, I found a pretty good deal on some Odyssey brand pedals. Now, the Ozu pedals were great. My feet rarely slipped off of them. They had a lot of traction, but they were just fine, and I did get them on Amazon.com for like $24. Now, the Odyssey ones, those were $32.99. That's about $6 or $7, something like that. More expensive, but I did buy them from a little mom and pop shop, and that was buying local, and sometimes it's just better to do that option. And besides, the guys gave me some good insight on these pedals and said that they were the ones to go with. So anyway, so these are the Odyssey black on black pedals. They have come with some new end caps and a sticker. You can't beat that. Now let's go to the Schwalbe tires. The Schwalbe tires, they're Rocket Ron edition. They are 2.8 wide, and the answer a lot of questions on YouTube was, man, did you mount those on the original rims that the GT Aggressor Pro came with? And the answer is yes, that is the original rim that the GT Aggressor Pro came with, just a different tube and the tire. The Schwalbes really dig when it comes to slowing down in dirt, and whenever it comes to like chunky climbs and things, very rarely are the tires spinning out from under me. There's just a lot more area on the ground, and I do like that. It gives me just a little bit more confidence when it comes to downhill, uphill, and especially in those corners, I can really lay that bike over. And I love the tires. The only downside to the Schwalbe 2.8s, if you have a GT Aggressor Pro or you're looking at getting one and you're looking at upgrading your tires, I wouldn't recommend the 2.8s. And the only reason why is because they do have a tendency to rub. Once you really start putting some torque on the back of that bike and you really start digging down with your pedals, the tires will kind of kick to the side a little bit and rub on the frame, and it'll start driving you nuts after a while. So, when my Schwalbe tires do wear out, I most likely will be getting another pair of Schwalbes, but they'll probably be 2.6s. So kind of keep that in mind if you're following along this GT upgrade journey, and you're kind of following what I'm doing. You know, just go for the 2.6s. Don't go for the 2.8s. They rub way too much. Let's go ahead and focus on the crankset that I got. And the crankset with the 34 tooth oval chain ring. We'll talk about that because I bought that as a package together. Now, that was such a good buy. Not so much crank arms. Crank arms are crank arms, it seems like. But when it comes to that oval chain ring, that thing is such a game changer. When it comes to going uphill especially. And like sometimes if you have a regular circular one and you're going up a hill, you have that weird spot where it feels like you have to readjust your feet. There's no such thing on that when it comes to the oval chain ring. It feels like every angle your feet are at, you have some sort of torque under you. I figured why not buy something new that had some sealed bearings, so I went ahead and changed out that Nico bottom bracket. But as far as that whole crank area is concerned, it's really good upgrades. I'm happy with the upgrades thus far, and it's very well money well spent. I'm extremely happy about it. Let's go ahead and talk about the update on my headset area. The Uno 35-degree stem, the 720mm wake bars, the race face grips, and the race face cap kit. If you want, we'll talk about all that together. So all of that, it was such a good buy as well, just because that 720mm of handlebars puts me at such a good position on that bike geometry-wise that my back hardly gets wore out whenever I'm on trails. And it feels so responsive now because I'm more on top of the tire as opposed to hanging out over the tire like I was with the original stem that the GT Aggressor Pro came with. Now, I never should have cut them down in the beginning. I'm not too sure on how wide the handlebars were with the original GT Aggressor Pro. All I know is I cut like 1 3/4 inches off of them suckers, and it was a huge mistake. So if you have a GT Aggressor Pro, do not cut your handlebars. Either upgrade your handlebars to a wider handlebar, or just stick with what you got. When it comes to the race face grips, those things are great with gloves, without gloves, in the rain, in the mud, in the sunshine. Your hands will not slip off of those things. They are so comfortable, and they're just squishy. And it's like gripping onto nothing. I mean, your hands do not get tired on the trails, and I love them. Such a good buy. While we're talking about that whole area up there, let's go ahead and break down the Shimano MT200 hydraulic brakes. They're great hydraulic brakes. I think it was right around $60 for those brakes. They were definitely the cheapest ones I could find. And with those, they came pre-bled. They had an adapter for 180mm rotor up front, so they do come with one adapter. And man, those things you can stop on a dime. There's been some pretty sketchy situations, and I could really count on those MT200 hydraulic brakes. And that mixed with those Schwalbe 2.8s, that whole combo will just dig into the ground and you are good to go. Now, the only downside to that is I don't know how to bleed hydraulic mountain bike brakes. So if you guys have any kind of a comment or something on that, or a video I can go and watch a tutorial to, make sure you guys put that in the comment section on these videos, and just give me a little bit of heads up on what videos are pretty informative that I can go and watch. Let's go ahead and get to the grand finale on the ZTZ Kashima forks, because that's the one that I get constant questions about. Now, the ZTZ Kashima forks, when I first got them, if you go back and watch the ZTZ Kashima forked video, the original one, before I did the update, they came in, they were a little faulty, air was leaking out of them, a bunch of stuff was loose on them, they wouldn't keep any kind of pressure in them. Took them to the shop, I pulled them apart, I blew them out, I added a little bit of oil in one of them, I kind of broke them down a little bit, made sure everything was tight. Man, they have held pressure, and let me tell you what, these ZTZ Kashima forks, for the price that I paid for them, are amazing, amazing, amazing. 2 thumbs up on these forks so far. There's 100mm of travel, and again, if you haven't watched that upgrade video or the update video on the ZTZ Kashima forks, make sure you guys go back and do that so you understand what I'm talking about now. So plush on the trails. I mean, they absorb everything, and it really takes a load off of my shoulders and my forearms, like the old Suntour coil forks. They were just a little bit more wearing on my body than these guys. They're about 2 pounds lighter than the coil forks. They're amazing, you know, and such a good buy. Now, the little compression switch up here, when you can go between the lockout, you know, and then just making it a little bit squishier, that right there is a little loud, but I'll tell you what, for the price of these forks, it actually makes a difference depending on what area you have it on the top part. And you wouldn't think so, thinking, you know, well, they're a little over $100, and that's the only setting that they have, but that setting makes a huge difference. Now, the downside to the ZTZ Kashima forks is when I first got them, the problems I had with them, the steerer tube was about 1.5 inches longer than what came on the original GT Aggressor Pro steerer tube with the old Suntour coil forks. So I had to cut those down. and they do not come with a little star nut. So make sure you get yourself a star nut if you're going to go with these forks, because they do not come with one, and the last thing you want to do is ruin the one like I did on my coil forks, trying to pound it out of there with a piece of PVC and a screwdriver. So be prepared for that. You might have to cut it down like I did, and then you'll have to get your little spacer kit like I did from Raceface. And the last thing on that is the stickers. They don't come with stickers. That was kind of a downfall. I got excited because they're supposed to come with some Fox stickers or something like that, and they didn't, and that kind of pissed me off. But I went ahead and ordered some WP suspension stickers just to kind of dress them up a little bit. I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. But man, other than that, on those forks, they are a great buy for $109, I think is what it was before tax. So make sure you look into that. Like I said, they're 2 pounds lighter than the coil forks. They're amazing. I can't wait to go on the trails every weekend with those guys, or this whole bike really. So that is pretty much the whole bike in an update video. Everybody's been asking for an update video. So an update on all the upgrades so far. If you guys ever have any questions or anything, make sure you guys feel free to comment, ask anything on our channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and all of that good stuff. And turn your notifications on, because after I get done with this video, I plan on shooting my next video. And the next video you're not going to want to miss. The next upgrade video, I'm going to do a little bit of maintenance stuff, probably on the back cassette, maybe a new chain, a few things. I got me some new tools from Amazon. And earlier I was talking about something that I just bought that's going to be a huge upgrade, and I will show you exactly what it is. It is going from this, yep, see if we can focus on there, to this. So check out the size difference there. We have the old 160 millimeter. Haven't got to play with them yet. We're going to go right to the 180 millimeter rotors. Both front and back. That's right. Both front and back. None of this just one wheel stuff. We're going to do both wheels because that's the way we do it. And of course, just like everything else on the GT Aggressor Pro, it will be budget friendly. You can guarantee it. So make sure you guys tune in. Thanks for following me on this journey. So like, subscribe, tune in, all that good stuff. Turn on your notifications so you guys can be notified when the next video comes out. And it just might be the new brake rotor upgrade that I have coming out. And thanks for watching.